We met in high school. We were high school sweethearts. I was 15 and he was 16 when we met.
So we got engaged when we were really young. And then subsequently, wasn't too long after her graduation from college that we got married in June. June. I know it. When was it?
We're definitely young when we got married. I think we had this pretty picture-perfect idea of what marriage was going to be like and what our marriage and family was going to be like. We had 3 kids pretty quickly.
I think that Laura was really excited about having kids pretty early, as was I. At the same time, I was really excited about potentially growing my career. So I think that I got kind of addicted to that sensation of success. And selfishly, I think that I kind of thought like her job was to be at home and take care of the kids, and my job was to do my job. And I think that starts to build some resentment and some, you don't understand me, I don't understand you. You don't understand how hard I'm working for you, and vice versa.
I think we just got to the place in our marriage where there was a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of frustration and resentment, and we just didn't know what to do with it. You know, we could talk to each other. Everybody would always say communication is the key, and we would talk till we were blue in the face, but didn't really ever feel like there was resolution, or we didn't feel understood by each other. So we had kind of come to a place where we had decided that it was the end of the road for us. Knew that it wasn't what we wanted for our family, but just didn't feel like there was any hope of saving what was wrong with us. Dom's brother and his wife had been coming here to Vineyard for several years and had invited us multiple times to come. One particular weekend, Dom looked at me and just said, I think, you know, they always ask invite anybody to come down for prayer, and he looked at me and said, I think I'm going for prayer. Do you want to go with me? And we walked down there and we met just the most wonderful, wonderful prayer. We call her Angel, who just had a way of speaking God right into our hearts. And we really had this moment then where we felt God starting to work in our story and our situation in a way that we hadn't ever felt. We came in for prayer on a Monday night, and
just wasn't what we expected.
And we turned around to leave, and we kind of looked at each other and just kind of shrugged like, well, I guess that was it. That was our attempt. That was the sign that we were looking for, that it was just over. And we started to kind of walk out of the building, and then ended up just kind of saying like, let's go try one more time. Let's go look for one more answer. The security guard on a Monday night was walking by the auditorium and kind of noticed us, and we asked if there was just anybody else in the building.
We were a mess. He noticed us because we were like sitting there like a total mess.
And the officer took us to find Mark and Megan, who ended up sitting with us and praying with us, and just, again, really speaking God's love over us. And we left that night, not fixed, but just with a glimmer of hope that there could be some redemption to our story and our family. After a couple months, there was a marriage class starting, and we decided to go to the first night of that and just see. We weren't sure if we were at a place yet to even be able to begin working on our marriage. And that first class was rough. It opened a lot of wounds, and it revealed a lot of ugly truths about ourselves as we explored ourselves as individuals. But it also started to help us to gain some insight into what was perhaps going on in the other person. We just kept taking classes, every class that was offered here. I think every class that we took, we gained like some even practical tools to be able to put into our marriage and put into practice, whether it's certain words or vocabulary to use, certain ways to lighten stressful situations. And we found ourselves implementing those in our everyday life. And we would kind of look at each other and like feel like, oh, we're doing it, you know, this is great. And certainly our marriage still has struggles. It's hard to be married. It's hard to be raising kids and have a young family. When we try to do it ourselves, we're not very good at being married to each other. When we really put God as the center of our marriage and the focus of our marriage, we feel like it really just blesses our entire marriage and our entire family life. You know, now looking back, it didn't make sense to me then, but now I can say that he had a plan for redemption for our marriage and our family.